So good morning, everyone. I'm really happy to welcome to the stage now Christophe from Novabricks. The stage is yours.
Nice to meet you. I'm very happy to be here to present you the return of experience of Novabricks. Novabricks is a French platform. We made no-code and low-code. So let's start on this theme, which is how to implement no-code and low-code usage in companies and enterprises, by opposite of a small and medium business, of course. So let me first introduce Novabricks, who we are. We are a software editor. We have 10 years of existence and R&D. We have patents. We're one of the pioneers in France for the no-code and low-code technology. We're based in Lille, north of France. I'm Christophe. I'm the CEO and founder of the society. We are experienced managers. We have some significant customers references, several prizes of innovation and so on. I pass. This is IT recognitions. Some of our customers and clients, you can recognize some major actors in France, like Intermarché, EDF, and so on. Different kind of application were made for these different customers in different business units and with the IT often. There's also an international usage of the platform, of course. It's used at different parts of the world. So what are our positioning and differentiation in the landscape of no-code and low-code tools? Mainly, we have separated families of no-code on the side and low-code on the other side. It's easy to understand by this caricature. So with no-code tools, there's zero code. So you can build everything. It's often specialized tools. So it's easy to use, and it's often for non-technical users, but of course technical users can use them. On the low-code side, the main purpose is to limit the use of code, but you can code so you can build everything that you want. Though the main focus is on power. It's a powerful tool. And it's often for technical users, sorry, even if they say the inverse. So in no-code, you have specialized families. I have put different kinds on the screen. And on the low-code, there are older actors and new pure players of the low-code states. I've mentioned worldwide known actors. And it's new. There's a new family of tools that are also no-code because it's complete but easy, but you can also code in them. So it's a no-code, but also low-code. So it's not so separated like we used to think. In this family, there are several companies like Novabricks. So it's the ease of no-code tools. And you can use one tool for every type of application for information systems. And there's no limit because you can call also. So for Novabricks, our positioning is the ease of speed of no-code tools and the unlimited power of low-code. It's very difficult to be on both sides. The value contribution of this kind of tool are, of course, delay reduction, cost reduction, and also anyone can create business apps. Who are the target users? You can go from developers or technical teams in the IT department to project managers, IT, MOR, business ones, to citizen developers that can use the same platform and collaborate all together. Here are some examples of the UI you can obtain and build with our platform. So let's get into the theme of this presentation. What are different types of projects you can build with no-code and low-code tools? Of course, I often use a comparison to the building industry. You can only want to build a simple application, very simple one. So it's like building an Eden tent in your garden. You don't need to put plans on, you just have to act. But if you want to go to the building size, you have to stop building and have a reflection, think, draw, exchange with other users, make the good decision before building. That's not the same kind of application you'll made. So it's not at all the same methodology you have to use. Don't go to the building phase, think before. Now, let's see different size of companies and different characteristics of them. If we start from SMB, small, medium businesses, the main purpose is often to replace the first use is paper, Excel, and they have too much. They don't share information, they don't have data rights, so they have to replace this kind of tools with some kind of database and power tool to get to the maturity of an information system. Then so often this kind of companies don't have a real dashboard, they don't have real visibility on what they are building, selling, where they are from the plan. So they have to make dashboards and make visibility. That's their main purpose. For mid-market society, they have already an IT department and an information system. So the main purpose is often to extend it to department which don't have any tools integrated, like often the support department, like human resources and so on. So it's extending the information system and probably collaborating with the information system. For enterprises, it's another goal. It's to extend the information system, but also to get more agile, because they have the possibility to develop, to get, to put other applications to the business units, but it's very long. So they want to get more agile, and they want to invest in innovation. I've mentioned it's a wheel, because it's quite difficult to move a big organization. So these are the kind of goals they want when they use no-code or low-code tools. Now let's see which are the interlocutors, buyers, depending on the size of the company. If we speak about the SMB, often the IT system works with business units. Or if they don't work really together, they don't oppose. It's quite a good thing. So when you speak to the SMB, you often speak to a business side, of course, it's meant, but with the agreement or a good vision of the IT department. The decision is often linked to the general management because it's something new and it's often quite strategic for SMB. When you talk to a mid-market company, it's different. They have their own maturity. IT department is already running. So the IT department is structuring the information system, and business unit tends to have new demands, and often the IT departments don't manage to follow all the demands of the business units. So business units sometimes buy IT by themselves. SaaS application, they make their own with a table maybe or other tools. Excel, of course, is the king of this kind of departments. So we have an organization that you begin to have two interlocutors in mid-sized market, either the IT, either the business units. In the big companies, in enterprises, IT department is quite structured, but it's not agile. There's a new department which can be an interlocutor. It's the innovation department, which tends to introduce new IT and business solutions. So no-code tools are studied, and they try to push this kind of tools in the enterprise. For business units, they are still interlocutors because they have habits to buy IT by themselves when necessary, because the IT department don't have the agility to follow all the demands. So you have three kinds of interlocutors in big companies: IT department, innovation, or business units directly. So let's see now what is IT maturity. IT maturity and the requirements that goes with this. In SMB, there's a low IT maturity. If it works, it's good. You put a prototype, you show, they like, they buy, they use. Maybe they will think about security later. We don't know. In the mid-market, there are structures, IT departments, so they have more IT maturity and requirements. They know that maybe they won't have a different kind of login for each application. They have to use the same identity management. Maybe they have to share data with other applications. And when you come to enterprises, there are more and more requirements because there are more and more applications used in the company. So the level of requirement is much higher in this kind of enterprises. It's very important to think about it if you have to go to this kind of enterprises. Let's see now the speed of decision and the agility of this kind of organization. On the contrary, SMB can decide very quickly, of course, and enterprises are very slow at decision in general. So if you're a seller or software or service, you have to think about the delay to enter this company, which is not the same. So let's now have a project analysis. Which kind of project do you want to implement in this company? Is it a simple app or a more complex application? And is it an application that is the heart of the data and the strategic activity of this society, or is it a peripheral? In this matrix, you know that if it's low complexity and not so strategic, you can eventually work with without IT department, directly with the business units, because they have habits about doing this, and IT department know this. They tend to not see, but they know that business unit buy this kind of software and shadow IT. But it's not strategic, so they let them do. If it's not strategic, but more complex application, you won't have to recreate the wheel. You have to get the data from the information system. You won't recreate another list of customers, another list of products in your own application. So you have to connect to the information system to get the information, the data, and to make it work with the application you want to create. So you need to discuss, it's an obligation, with IT department to get these connections, to get this data, and to make a real connected information extension. Maybe they will share also identity management, like SSO or something like this. If you want to go to strategic application for this kind of big society or data strategic use, then sorry, but it's a different world. You have to get the agreement, the real agreement of IT department, even if the need is from the business unit. You have to get security agreement, not only from IT, but general enterprise IT agreement, IT and security, sorry, agreement. You have to get the supplier agreement. You're the seller, but maybe you want to sell 3 tools. So the enterprise have to validate your company and 3 tools company that they can work with. And also in France and Europe, you know, there's the data protection, and they tend to have a little distance from US compliance and the capacity of US society to look at your data if they have a need. So there's a more and more need of HPD, French supplier for France or European supplier for Europe. And also the IT department will ask questions about the performance of the system, the global system, the availability, because what goes with if the service stops 1 hour, if you don't know one of the major actors of Nocode, which is here, has a 1 hour interruption yesterday. So what do you do when 1 hour interruption of one of the tools get all the chain broken? That's an IT preoccupation, of course. And then their reflection is they won't buy a stack. They won't buy X new tools to integrate and pray for, I hope everything will be good. So have this reflection and have this in mind when you tend to work with big societies. Because you think, I will show my prototype, they will see there's a added value. But building is just a relative place in the project. There are more things to reflect and to think about in an IT project. And even when you have the experience, you know that the building phase is not the only one. We have to live several years with the system. How will it evolve? How will it be secure in time? Will there be someone to support the system when it's broken, etc., etc.? So let's get reflection before. That's why in big companies there's a problem with the stack. If you have a stack, I have the tool 1 that goes to the tools number 2 that send information to the tools number 3, and I get it. That's the world of no-code, simple but efficient tools. Yes, but for big companies, it's a chain of tools. Anyone who breaks all the chain. So if you want to sell 4 tools to a big company, there are 4 multiplicated risks in this chain. They will look at your proposition with another eye. They don't want many tools. They prefer one tool. They will validate one tool, one supplier. They have competence to get from one platform. It's better for them. Next, they will see if the platform is okay for European data compliant. If it's not too much US oriented because of the strict confidentiality some companies need. Then they want a supplier or platform which is experienced, not a new one. They don't want to make broken eggs with a new platform. That's why we are a good proposition for this kind of company, of course. We are an integrated platform that have experience, and this is based in Europe. You don't need other platform to get business unit application with Novabricks. Let's see now, to finish, a few customer cases. The first one is EDF in French. EDF. It's in French here. It's the main distributor of electricity in France and in Europe. The first project was a human resource project. We get in this company by the business units that wanted to get a new application to share data and have indicators. They had, it's a particular organization for EDF because it's a big company and there are regional agencies, big regions agencies. And as EDF knows that it's not so agile in the IT service, they delegate innovation in each region. So there's a innovation manager in each region that is authorized to study different tools and to implement different solutions if they don't go to the strategic data and activities of the society. They are not allowed to get any no-code for nuclear uses. You understand why? Okay, but for some non-strategic usage, it's welcome if it makes agility in the enterprise. So we get through business units and innovation partner of EDF to get the application. And this is a result of the third application we made with this company, because often you get into the company with the first project. Then when they see that it works, it's, let's apply this kind of methodology to other kind of project or subject that we are allowed to treat with you. So that's the third project we have built with EDF. What is interesting in this customer case is the first project was authorized because of the lack of strategic party and the data. The second one was quite sensitive about the data, because there are human data in it. So we had to get to the IT department, the national and international IT department, to get the validation that our solution can be used in the regions for some non-strategic, but we need their authorization. So they studied our company. They make an audit. Forms, of course, we have to sell some kind of forms. The security department exchange with it. The juridic department also check about the contracts. And then they agreed with the obligation of scanning our application each month. This is the kind of validation that a big group has to put to allow some kind of user to use this kind of solution. So it's interesting because on peripheral projects, it's easy, but as you get to more strategic project or more sensitive data, you have to get validations on the road. Okay? So now it's the third one, and we are still analyzed each month by this major actor. This is a second customer case we have. Customer case in French. We work with not only Intermarché, but Groupe Les Mousquetaires. So it's a retail group of several companies, not only Intermarché, but also Rodi, NATO, and many others. The case in this organization, it's a satellite organization. Each kind of business unit is structured in society. So the information department is a society in the group. It's the last team. So this company, the Steam, contacted us for getting about a need they had in financial use. When they get an invoice, sometimes the invoice is not equal to what they expect of the invoice. So this is not easy to be managed in the ERP or information system. So they get it outside in Novabricks platform. And each buyer of this company, 300 by memory, connect into Novabricks to make arrangement about the difference between what they expect to pay and what they will pay, receiving an invoice of a different account of money. Okay, so it's we have entered in this company by directly the IT department, which is a society. But this big IT department is structured in vertical business needs. So we enter in this company by one business vertical, the financial one. The second year, we made a second application with this customer. And for the third one, they tried to get the agreement of the architecture managers to get this tool agreed for every department of the IT department, society, it's the same. This kind of use was a few years ago very innovative for this kind of company, big company. So we tried to organize this meeting with the architecture managers, which were 10 meters aside of the users, but it was not a success. The meeting was not possible. So 3 years ago, we were not able to be allowed for all the business case of Intermarché. We are now in contact of them, and now Nocode is mature, low code is known, and they are open to receive us to study the capacity of accept this kind of tool in other IT departments. This is another interesting case because you can enter even in the IT departments, but only in a vertical use of the product. And we are now at the fourth application with this client in this vertical use. This is kind of a UI and screens examples that we have made. They have made with our platform. So they have statistics and they get the differences in some tables. Next and last customer case I will show you is Kiloutou. Kiloutou is a French company that make location for many users. It's the main European company which is acquiring other companies each year. Kiloutou had a need a few years ago, which was to animate the agencies, the commercial attractivity of agencies and the commercials by themselves. So they contact us. It was directly the IT department. They contact us to check if we have a possibility to get this application quickly. And we get it. So it was a success for the first application. What is interesting is that they didn't want to build. They made it with a partner. And 3 years later, they see that it works. It's in production, no interruption, no security problem. When they want evolution, it's very easy. So 3 years after this first project, the IT department, which had a special history because in this space they have structured a data department. So they have a data-driven orientation. And the manager of the data department said, hey, now I have the data for all the company, but how to use this? Have to use the value in the data. So we have to make application easily, because the first step is to have BA, business intelligence, over the data to see the what are the data at the moment, but they can't interact. So I think with a kind of platform that which is okay, which is stable, they can make application to share the data and to enrich the data in the department and in the development of the company, which acquires other companies in other countries. So it's kind of strategic usage of new tools in this company. So it's another kind of usage of the Nocode and Nocode platform, Novabricks in case, for transversal use and a data-driven value-added use in the company. So now we have trained a few people in the IT team, and they have different kind of project they are launching and beginning this year. So by the three example, you have three example of big companies that have different kind of acceptance of organization, and often you see that we have to need to work with the IT department, either directly, either because the business unit needs the data and only the IT can share them. It's normal. You will see also that there are different strategies. Some come with a POC, then a project, then another project. Some come with a project, then a generalization perspective. It's not the same. Of course, in big companies, you can't imagine now and in the next years that the main information system will be only no-code and low-code. It's not possible because there's an history. There are hundreds of applications still in use. They won't kill them to remake them in new technology. So there's a transition to organize, depending on the innovation wheel, depending also on the competition. If the competition is slow to innovate, you can be slow to innovate. If you are disrupt, then you have to innovate. To renew yourself, you have to make a new application, try some new organization, change the process, etc. Test, evaluate, iterate. So in this kind of company, of course, no-code tools and low-code tools are very essential. So if you speak about the European market and big companies, you have to think about using platforms that are compatible with these companies. If you want to work with SMB, you can use any stack. If you want to work with mid-markets or big companies, you have to go to use integrated tools. One tool is better than several, and preferably European tools or French tools if you are in France, because there will be different eyes on the capacity of integration and the security compliance about choosing different kind of suppliers. So for Kiloutou, I have an example, of course. So this is the kind of application we've made. This is one of our beta menu, which allows any users of the application to change his own menu. So you see they can add icons, images, and resize each of the entry. So it's very innovative use of a no-code tool because each end user can also personalize his own menu to get to different functionalities. It's also capable of showing you documents. It's a player of Excel documents, PDF also. And it's, of course, compatible on smartphone. So in Novabricks, you have, of course, the responsive view, but you have also the redirection to get to specific screens that are made for smartphone, that are more designed to get the small screen and the visibility, etc., etc. That's it. If you have questions, don't hesitate.
Thank you.
Sorry for my approximative English.
Does anyone has question? Yes.
Hello, thank you for the presentation. At the beginning, you were on the competition map. You were positioning like on the same side as Bubble. So besides RGPD compliance, what are the main difference with Bubble? Then the second question was from the front design, on the front end, can you design like pixel perfect website? And what about maintenance after you deliver an application? Thank you.
Three questions. Okay.
If it's possible.
Bubbles was put in the middle because you can code on Bubble. So it's an openness to the low code. We can't say anything that dense. The difference is that Bubble and Novabricks don't have the same client customers targeted. Bubbles is also very present on the B2C segment, on the web and the front. We are not. We are B2B oriented and business application oriented. So it's more for internal use, partners, extranets than websites. We didn't get the investment to this kind of market. It's a strategic approach that we have. We let this market for other people. There are enough place for everyone. Second question was? The design. It depends on the technology you use. If you use a no-code, in no-code you can't have the pixel one. because it's pre-coded. So you have to choose between this kind or this kind, etc. But if you get to the low code, if you choose not to use the, let's take visual components or widgets we have, if you don't like them, you can make a widget in JavaScript. So JavaScript is perfect for each pixel. So not for front, but you can make pixel perfect using eventually code if you're not satisfied with our components. Third one was the maintenance. It's very easy because we upgrade the builder very often. I think we are the version more than 5,000 version. It's very transparent. And when you have a problem, there are, of course, two analyses to say. Maybe it's a building problem. So it's not the software editor that have to come, but the builder. It can be in the company, a partner, supplier. So if it's not a building problem, then they turn back to the editor. And we can patch very quickly any production environment. It's very easy for us because we have structured the capacity technically. So for blocking blocking bugs, it's done in one day. So we are very reactive.
Yes, there is another one.
Hello, thank you for your talk. Can you share about the business model you have? How do you sell? Is it a software as a service that you sell to the company? Do you interact during the project? Do you help the client to take the product into hand and to create his own applications? Thanks.
Two questions, yes. Yeah. Business model, like many others, we have a SaaS model, or PaaS if you like to think this way. So it's an annual contribution abonnement. It's depending on the number of end users, but we are not a big company, so we can check about what is the real end users. If he uses once a year, let's talk. And on the other side, there's also the computing dimension, because some clients have huge data that sell to us each day. Some other make flows all the night, each hour to the endpoint of the world. So we have to get the right infrastructure behind. So these are the two segments we check: the number of users and the kind of use. And of course, if it has to be more than a simple server or VM behind. Second question was?
Yeah, but how do you interact during the project?
Yes. We are a software editor, but we have also a service team. So our client can call us. We have the client can do it by himself, of course. He can ask also for assistance in each side, from collecting the need to developing widgets, specific widget connectors. One of our clients contact us to make a design approach for what they can build by themselves, etc., etc. And we are also constructing a partner network with the league and others, for example. So we can assist you directly or by also our partners, which know well the application.
We have another question here.
Yeah.
Hi, I run a bubble agency, Rapid Dev, and I've explored some of these low-code providers. This one's very interesting as well. While I was speaking with Mendex, OutSystems, Pega, Caspio, all those others, they often rely on their partners to do the selling and to convince the potential clients about the system. Whereas in the Bubble world universe, Bubble has a lot of marketing, usually leads and prospects already know about Bubble, they understand it, so you spend less time talking about selling Bubble, more time just about your agency and your services.
Yes.
So it's quite a different sales process. What is it like for your partners?
It's a new way to get to customers is new for it's new for us to get to the customer indirectly. So since last year we went to customer directly. So we sell the credibility of the society, the client, etc., and the integration. We are responsive for the integration until last year. Now we are making a network of distributors and partners. So we have to make some reputation, like you did. That's why we're here. And we have to talk about what we've done, because we've done many things, but we have an expression in French, we were in the wood. Now we go out of the wood and we will communicate about what we can do and what we have done and the credibility we have, because some companies rely on us and they are very strict. So that's also a confidence proof. That's it.
We have another one. If nobody else. I don't see anyone yet. So.
What's the learning curve like for the system for partners?
Good question, because I forgot to express it. It depends on the tool you use. There are different learning curves and length of training to get different kind of levels of mastering the tools. Our main formation is 2 days longer. 2 days? 2 days long is our major formation. We have also complementary formations. So,
how long what would you say the learning curve is for like beginners 2 days, medium maybe 2 months, expert maybe 1 year?
It depends on how many projects you build. On our platform, it can be very quick to build. So in 1 year, you can make many things. So you're senior before 1 year. You're senior in a few months. The philosophy of the platform is quite easy to understand. It's like Lego. This is why we are bricks, Novabricks. You can build different bricks and just put them together. It works. One more. You put out another, you put a new, it works. One of the things our client says that, oh, it works from the beginning with you. There's no error number. Blah, blah, blah. It's a no-code formation. Today, if you have to code, we present you how to. But this is JavaScript screen. Please. We don't sell training for JavaScript. But you can call also in the back in different languages, so please do. And of course, there are several parts that you have to experience or maybe train a little more to get to the fine points we can do. But we have also customer service that helps you. So it's a very short learning curve. It's very important. It's one of the major differences we have.
You do? Oh, okay.
You can go on a private discussion with
I don't want to hog it.
afterwards.
If anyone else wants to ask, jump in. How would you say the position of your company is versus Uncork? I don't know how to actually say their name, if that's correct. But
I don't know enough Uncork to be quite precise on this, but I think we are very close. From what I've seen from France to US, I think we're quite close because they are focused, I may have wrong with, they are focused on B2B, and it's quite easy but quite powerful. So. Not so easy or not quite so powerful?
It's hard for me to get a sense of it. They're kind of like a closed ecosystem. They haven't really opened up their partner system much. But they strike me as similar to you in sense of their B2B rather than like Bubble's B2C.
Yeah.
But they're more closed off at the moment. Yeah.
Fine. That's also why we are less known, because B2C, there's a lot of people who knows about this kind of tools, and B2B, it's more strict. They speak between them. Quite.
All right. Any other question for you? No? All right. Thanks a lot, Christophe.
Thank you very much.